Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning and welcome to Guardian Radio AM. Today is Wednesday, June 10th. It's a little after 11 o'clock in the morning. And once again, this is C.A. Newry, and I shall be your host for the day. The numbers to call are 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. And if you're calling from the Family Islands, the number is 242-300-5720. And if you want to text me, the number is 422-4796. Standard text rates apply, and that's powered by BTC. Today, I want to talk about bad behavior. Just in broad, that are we allowing bad behavior to become a part of who we are, what we are, right? In speech, in thought, in action. Bad behavior. I know we have some issues. I mean, we're not perfect, right? And some of the issues I think we could gloss over. It's not that bad. It's far worse than other countries. But it seems as if bad behavior is permeating into our society and has now becoming the norm. It's becoming the norm in our speech, in our thought, in our manner, in our action, right? I have one or two things I want to read into the record just so you be aware of what is happening. And I want to know your opinion on such things, right? One, I want to say, not a part of this conversation, but I think Bahamian reporters need to have a better duty of care to we Bahamians. Let me repeat that or rephrase it so you can understand. I'm disappointed in some of these reporters. They ain't good. They don't make no sense. They like entertainment. I think it's yellow journalism. I know what yellow journalism is because I'm not no journalist. I keep on telling you, I'm not a part of media, a part of maybe social media. But what I understand, they look for, the ambulance chases in terms of looking for news too much. Just recently, a group of journalists was downtown. The FNM had a demonstration asking about Halkitis and demanding that he resign for whatever relationship he has with the accused gentleman who has been detained in the United States, who hasn't been charged yet, right? Whether he worked for this company or not, right? And in response, the PLP had a rally, loudspeakers, excitement, entertainment, large crowd in support of Mr. Halkitis. All that is fine and dandy. I understand politics. This is what you do. You get your supporters out, you get your persons who are protesting out, and it makes news. And what I'm disappointed in is that the journalists, 2, 3, 4 of them, approached Mr. Leslie Miller. I don't have nothing against Mr. Leslie Miller. I find him entertaining. Operative word, entertaining. I just laugh, but he's a senior man. So I don't laugh hard at senior men because they already contributed to society, right? Because I like him. I mean, no, he's a senior man, and I believe senior men can do anything in the Bahamas because they didn't live and they didn't contribute. So when he says some gaffes, I don't get mad, no. I smile and say, look at Leslie, my Lord, have mercy. But I blame the reporters. I blame Leslie Miller. Because Leslie Miller would speak. You put a mic in front of his mouth, he shall speak, and he shall speak his mind. He ain't afraid of nobody. I think he's one of the bravest gentlemen in the Bahamas. He's not afraid of anybody. But in his enunciation recently, for the second time, Mr. Miller called Barnett Ellis, lady, he called her little girl. It vexed the wife, it vexed me. So you can't, big man can't be calling woman little girl, you know. It's yuck up their vexation. And it just like Mr. Miller can't help it. It's a bad behavior. It's a bad behavior. And like I say, I do not blame Mr. Miller because that's what he said. That's the phrase he's used. Younger than him, he's a child. No matter if you have grown children, no matter whatever degree of professionalism, you're a child to him, right? You could call, if she, Miss Ellis, becomes Prime Minister of the Bahamas one day, he'd still call her a child in front of her face. Girl, child, little girl. Respect me as man. Tell her, sit down. She ain't nobody. And it irked me because I said, man, the reporters did that to him. The reporters set him up again because they like sound bites. They like sound bites because there was no need to go to Mr. Miller to interview him. They did it because they know he's going to say something sensational and it was going to be good for media, TV, radio. So bad behavior, like I said, bad behavior by Mr. Miller, right? For keep on addressing the big grown woman with children as little girl. But bad behavior for the media. We need better media people, man. They it's crass. They need to just do better. They're always looking for sound bites. Recently, continuing my vein of bad behavior, there was a big brawl downtown. I wonder if I could pull that up. There was a big brawl downtown by, the reports say, Americans. Cruise ship people, right by the port, right? And there's videos circulating where they mash up a police station. The report says they cut the Bahamian police behind. I mean, mash them up, tear up the uniform again. I can see if I can find a report to read that into the record. And these things happen, but I'm waiting for the response. I'm going to ask you, what you think is going to be the response? I think the U.S. Embassy is going to respond. They take care of their people. And even though 5 people, and like I said, I'm going to look for that report so I can read it into the record. Even though 5, like I said, Americans were detained and they were not able to reboard their cruise ship, and continue on to their cruise because they're still detained at the jailhouse there. I would like to say that what do you think will happen? I think that they'll get a fine, no more than about $1,000-$2,000, right? And they get to go home after they just mash up everything on Bay. Mash up everything in the police station. Rough up the police officers, right? I see it right here. This is from my ZNS network, ZNS Network. It says on Monday, 8th of June, 2026, tourism police officers arrested 5 United States nationals, 3 females, my Lord, the woman them is fighting, and 2 males for several offenses following an incident at the Nassau cruise port. According to preliminary reports, shortly after 4:45 p.m., that means the boat getting ready to leave, police officers were alerted to a physical altercation involving several cruise ship passengers within the Nassau cruise port area. Officers responded with the assistance of additional personnel, intervened and took 3 females and 2 males into custody. The complainant was subsequently invited to the police station to provide an official statement. That means it'll sound. Upon arrival at the station, officers prepared to search the arrested individuals. During the process, a violent struggle reportedly ensued between officers and the 5 suspects. One female suspect allegedly threw a chair through the sudden glass door, causing it to shatter. A male suspect then allegedly kicked out the remaining glass and then attempted to escape, but was immediately subdued by officers. Additionally, police units were requested to assist. Additional police units were requested to assist in restoring order. It was pandemonium, they said. The 5 suspects sustained minor injuries during the initial altercation at the cruise port and were examined and treated by emergency medical service personnel. As a result of the confrontation, At the police station, several officers' uniforms were damaged. You know that's a crime when you damage a police uniform, by the way. And 4 officers sustained various injuries. 2 officers were reportedly struck about the body. They clobbered them. While another suffered lacerations to the mouth. They slapped the taste out of his mouth. The 4th officer sustained a serious injury to his left shoulder and was transported to hospital by ambulance for medical treatment. Them women, them half killed him. I swear they come from Anderson. Anyway, his condition is currently unknown. Due to the time constraints related to their cruise ship's scheduled departure, the complainants were unable to provide official statements. Nevertheless, the 5 suspects remain in police custody and are being investigated in connection with the following offenses. 1, assaulting a police officer, fighting in a public place, resisting arrest, malicious damage, disorderly behavior in a police station, and the investigation continues. I say certain phone call can be made, and of course it should be made. I'm not disparaging the phone call. No. If you're citizens in problem, you have a duty. Even though people mad that our office in the United States went and see about that gentleman who got arrested there, who plane crash. It's the duty for whatever embassy here to go look on their citizens and say, let me see how we can help you all. Let me see what we can do, even if we got to pay the fine for you all. But is this case called for a fine or some jail time? Should we take the passport for a minute? I don't know if you can take a U.S. citizen passport and detain them for 5 days. 5 days. Let them understand that you can't be treating Bahamians so. And the thing is, this has happened again and again and again. And the reason why, they don't have no respect for us. They don't have no respect for the Bahamas. They don't have no respect for Bahamian police, Bahamian authority, nothing. We ain't nobody. And that's why they continue to do it. Let's go to the phone calls. I continue to have this discussion about bad behavior. Go ahead, caller. Guardian Radio AM, you're live. Go ahead, caller, you're live. I can hear you in background, caller. Go ahead.
Hey, man, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
All right. I have a clarification to make.
Go ahead.
Those guys dealt with tourism police officers. You understand?
No.
They didn't meet the real fellas.
So there's fake fellas.
They didn't meet the red and white and black stripe. Okay?
You saying that they didn't go into the police college and learn how to be police officers? That's what you said.
No. Happening is the tourism do. It's a whole different crew, you know.
You saying that they ain't come from the police force?
No.
You're confusing me, man.
They are like the welcoming crew.
So they ain't real police?
No, they're friendly. They now after start to get crazy, things shifted.
And they stopped being friendly?
Yeah, but I don't think they met the real fellas. Now, they probably meeting the real fellas now.
Mm-hmm. You can't be hitting up on no American citizen, though. When they get detained, they detain.
No. We got to behave well in public.
They just make... Yeah.
Interesting scenario, buddy. Interesting scenario.
Yeah. I hear you. But luckily, I'm happy I'm not a police officer. Because I just look left, I just look right. Kapow! I see you, call. Coming to you right now. Let's read this text. It says, we must understand that the present Conteract, I guess it could be court system. I'm not sure. We must understand that the present court system continues to gut out the governmental infrastructure that produced the previous middle and upper class. Presently, most government officials answer to the political power that be. They are no longer accountable to the people that voted for them. Tourism police officers, they did not meet the fellas. That's what the text says. This says, what race are the passengers? And yes, the journalism in the country is very lacking. They seem bright skinned, they conky Jewish. I'm not sure if black Americans would have done this. I thought when they started fighting and thing was black Americans, and I feel shame that I actually said more like they black Americans. But when the pictures came out, when they say they started fighting police, I say that's them bright skinned people. They have a thing about themselves that they don't believe no other police officer should arrest them or dare question them. That's why they kick open the door and try to escape and mash up the police officers. Let's go down to this call again. Guardian Radio AM, you live.
Morning, Mr. Newry.
Good morning, how you doing?
Boy, look at how times have changed. We talk about bad behavior. And on top of that, the policemen were black policemen. And they were Bahamian policemen. You remember one time ago, I don't know if you're that old, when a foreign walking down Bay Street with a bikini was arrested for indecent exposure? That's what used to happen in my day, you know. Tourists walking on Bay Street with a bikini on, indecent exposure. You were only allowed to put them on the beach. Now they walk down from the boat to Junkanoo Beach in bikinis, and some wearing some things. They look like they're going into a bedroom. But guess what? We overlook that now. We have changed to accommodate the tourists. Another thing, Mr. Newry, some of these people you see coming off them boats and around these restaurants, around Fish Fry or the Western Esplanade, they are trained Army officers on vacation, off-duty, male and female. They are trained in the art of subdue and kill. So when these little small 28 in the waist police go up and try to grab one of them, they don't know what that fella know and what he's capable of doing. On top of that, as Bahamians, we know what embargo will do to us from America, like it did to Jamaica and Haiti and any place else in the Caribbean.
You there? Okay, thank you very much. A next report here says, police apprehended a student following a brazen attack on a female principal at S.C. McPherson School. We learned earlier today a male student was taken into custody by the police at S.C. McPherson Junior School after he violently assaulted the school principal during school hours. The incident occurred when the female principal confronted the student regarding his behavior during exam time. In response, the student lunged a series of punches at the principal, pinning her against the wall and forcing her to shield her face and head from blows. The principal refrained from retaliating as other faculty members and students intervened to restrain the male student and contacted the police, who subsequently arrested him. Bad behavior. I don't know of any child challenging a principal or even a teacher. We have parents who come up there and fight a teacher. They ain't asking no questions. They come up there. It's bad behavior. Another bad behavior, I see I have another telephone call, let me embrace them, is the of prisons or the correctional facility. His bad behavior in his speech to the cohort that graduated. The bad behavior, and I believe the women of the Bahamas need to come together and tell him what you did to us, wronged us, is it us, and therefore we cry out for someone to recompense us. Because what she said was reprehensible and should not have been said. And you can't slide over and say, this is how I talk. It was a violent talk against women. And he needs to know it. And I think he needs to apologize because he may not have intended it to be that way. But what he said was so unbecoming. In any civilized society, people would have asked for his resignation. In fact, even though I believe he's competent for the job, I say he may need to resign so we can have integrity at the office space. Let's go to the caller there. Guardian Radio AM, the live caller.
Hey, Brother Newry, what's happening?
I'm always good, man.
I'm going to be quick. I got 3 points I want to touch. Firstly, yesterday with the incident with the police stores. If you remember, a couple of years ago, they had a similar incident down by Senior Frog.
Yes, I do remember.
Okay? So these people, they come in, they're taking us for jokes. They're not serious. They're taking us for jokes. Number two, this incident at the SC McPherson School, I can tell you this. When I see they have male principal at the primary school, I don't know if it's a different qualification to be a principal at a senior school or junior school and a primary school. Because why are you having male principals at primary school and female principals at junior and high school? I think you stand a better chance with the female by the primary schools and put the male principals to the school to tackle it. Because some of those junior high only go past grade 9. Some of those students are almost as big as the teacher. You understand what I'm saying? And then, growing up, like you said, you never would have heard about a student fighting a teacher. At the Donald Davis School, which I attended, we had a vice principal there named Mr. Clark. If Mr. Clark was 4 feet 5, 4 feet 6, he was tall. And anybody that went to Donald Davis back in the 80s, early 90s, they'll know Mr. Clark. Mr. Clark beat every boy, every male student in Donald Davis one morning. Just because somebody from Palmdale say that. Some people was throwing rocks, some students were throwing rocks at some children from. That's when Aquinas was in Palmdale. Now, us to say who live in South, we ain't got to go that way. Everybody still get beaten. Nobody's man enough to tell Mr. Clark he can't hit them. I don't know what type of children we grow in our brother. I don't know if the TV playing a big part in it. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what's going on.
Thank you very much.
They will fight the teacher?
Yeah.
Now, what school is he supposed to go to now? Other than the boys' industrial school?
I don't know what to
You
say.
know, if I was the principal, I wasn't taking him in no school. I don't care what they say. Then he'll have to go by the police station every day until he reaches 70, and then he can go what he want to. Because he ain't want to be in no school. He ain't want to be amongst people. He done grown. He grown before he was young. He done a man. And if I was the principal, I was press charges against him. His parents, however it go.
We shall see what happens. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Colin. One of the quotes from the Corrections Commissioner, Dawn Clare, said that he warned female recruits yesterday that one misstep could swiftly cost them their job, while saying he would try to massage struggling male recruits into line because qualified men are in short supply. In the United States, they would have fired him on the spot. He wouldn't be able to keep the job no more. He would have been finished his career, right? The women's group would have been protesting. They would have been circling the whole prison right now, demanding, he must go, he must go. But this is the Bahamas. Any buck goes. Let's go to the next caller. Garden Radio AM, you live.
Well, they didn't stop your voice along with you, Newry.
Raymond, it's good to hear your voice. I was concerned. I saw you on the street the other day, but I'm glad you are healthy and I'm glad you're okay.
I got into a little, my place got a little damaged, you know. So I'm someplace else, you know, until the Lord help me again. So what you all saying, man? I'm trying to hear you, but you know how things is, right?
I know how things are.
There's something like over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyhow, how things are?
Things good, man. Things good. I'm talking about bad
Say it
behavior.
again?
Things are well, man. Things are good. And I'm glad that you survived.
Everybody hello for me.
I shall.
And what's your topic? Because I was in and out.
We're talking about bad behavior and correcting bad behavior. And I'm giving examples.
Oh, yes.
Go ahead.
You said something I really disapprove of. You see, pertaining to what you do to the Bahamians. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You don't kill Bahamians. Don't kill yourself. You know? Put measures in place that situation would be dealt with in a more mature and understanding and a just way. Because if you don't do that, you're always going to have problem in the society. Bremen Darling, for instance. Thank you kindly, but
Yeah,
tell
man.
everybody I said hello, okay?
I shall. Godspeed, Bremen. It's good hearing your voice.
Thank you.
Another quote from Commissioner Clare. He said the department originally planned a recruit class of 70 men and 30 women, but adjusted the ratio to 60 men and 40 women after his hands were twisted and chopped. See? The women's group being mad. What do you mean twisted and chopped? By whom? And when he's the commissioner, you're saying is political interference happening in there, and therefore the qualified people he would have done differently? See, these are problematic words. This is bad behavior, and it cannot be excused. You call him out and say, hey, you might be a good man, but what you said is egregious. Let's go back to the caller. Guardian Radio AM, you live, caller. Caller, you there? Hey, go ahead, caller. You live.
Morning, CA. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, that's Bremen Darling Ferguson.
Yes, that's Bremen Darling Ferguson Radio.
Good morning to Bremen. I've been hearing him for a bit.
Yeah, it was good hearing his voice. Yes.
I couldn't hear you because you all had me holding, but I couldn't hear the radio. So at this point, you're talking about good and bad behavior.
Yes, bad behavior.
Or
and
bad behavior. What are you doing?
You could do either or right now because I am concerned that we allowing bad behavior to become part of our society.
Well, it's been going on now for about 40 years. I had a good experience with or a brief experience with Mr. Clark, Donald Davis. He came in after we've had two of the most aggressive senior headmaster and Mr. Hanna, and then we had the principal, Mr. Reed. Those gentlemen to the beat. Then when I went to government ICA in 1980, I had the pleasure to sit under one of the most aggressive principals in our era, in Eris Monka. He had big men, young men, like myself. If someone hits you, if you decide to retaliate, hold or expel, that's just the rules, and that's what we followed. We never had no fighting in government high like that, and nothing. And he even took it a step further. He said, when you put on that uniform, he said, you represent the school. And he had scores of persons on the street monitoring each student. So even when you're wearing that shirt and that pants, that uniform, you had to be very careful because you don't know who there was watching you. So, but things have changed and have deteriorated. Now, when you're looking at standards and bad behavior, what standards are we using in the Michael and Peter situation? Are we following international standard or are we using third world banana republic standard?
I don't know what to say. I know Commissioner Clare is suggesting that there's a problem with the education system, socialization
I didn't
system.
Hear you say. I'm asking you what standard we are using in respect to Michael and Peter.
You want to talk about Michael Halkitis again, eh? You went ahead. The speaker said, and see, bad behavior. What the speaker said? The speaker said she sent the issue to some kind of commission. I can find that quote for you right now. That they can't bring up the Michael Halkitis incident in the House no more.
Well, let's see what the international community have to say about it.
They don't talk about the Bahamas.
If you're using standards,
the international community don't care about the Bahamas.
Well, we'll see. But bear in mind, we are a tourist destination, and we depend heavily on tourism. But we could say we come from a society where we ain't going to say nothing until it reach our doorstep. So let's see basically how this will all play out, right? But in the international community, if you're following conventions and standards, the standard is not that you're guilty, The standard is that you should recuse yourself so you could exhaust all of your energy into clearing your name. That's how it works. But this standard, I don't know what the hell this standard is, but we'll see basically what happens. But we can't cherry pick when it comes to standard because when you're talking standard and behavior, kids are watching. The world is watching. We don't live in a bubble, but even though some of us believe that we do. But we'll see. But right now, when you're following the Westminster system, We know how it works. I don't know what this system, maybe the Prime Minister could explain what system he is using. I don't want no opinion on how anyone feel. I'm talking standard and policy. What were we using? Why he believes Mr. Al-Qaeda should remain in the chair. And we should ask everything to be tabled in terms of a full disclosure on all of the companies.
Can't be tabled because he yet had the Speaker of the House said can't be tabled.
The media should ask for all the companies that he was director of or president of during his time outside of the House of Assembly.
I hear you, Clever. I hear you.
That's a good one. But we don't have to belabor it, or we don't have to. We'll just wait and see basically how these things play out. Okay, because we are trying to build a country. This progress we are talking about here now,
yes.
Not digress.
Once you know that
progress.
it is progress time, Clever. Once you know it's progress time, Clever, you complain a lot. I see you constantly call campaigning. Still, that loss was just being hard on you, Clever. But when I talking about the commissioner spoke on challenges with the educational system, and when I analyze his speech, I see the challenges that the prisons have. But clearly, the commissioner is not exposed. I start questioning where we have the best astute leaders at the top. Is a concern. It seems that we scraping bottom, and it's clearly that's the fact. Let me read this. Good morning, Mr. Newry. I hope you are not reading the false story about the principal at S.C. McPherson. Mr. Stephen McPhee, president of the Principal Association, said the incident never occurred. He disputed this on all news stations last week. In fact, the principal was not even at school that day. The principal and her family was extremely upset about the false report. I can read that in. So this one saying no incident happened at the school at all. And if it didn't, that's always good because I can't condone bad behavior. Say, wow, Mr. Newry, it was such a relief and delight to hear Bremen's voice. I'm wishing him all the best. I was very concerned about him. Yes, it's good to hear his voice. Also, I need to find out what happened to Johnson. I know Johnson went to the States seeking medical treatment, and you know that Johnson takes dialysis, right? And I haven't heard anything from him in a while, so I'm hoping that he's well also. This texter said, the commissioner said nothing wrong. And that's a problem right there because we condone bad behavior. And if we cannot see that there's nothing wrong with what he said, that's one of the problems that we have right now in the Bahamas. Let's go to this caller here. Guardian Radio AM, you're live. Go ahead, caller.
Hi, good day. How are you, Mr. Newry?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'll be good. A little hot, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm hoping that I see Kwesi Thompson said it can be a hot summer with a lot of outages. I am concerned about that. Because someone needs to explain why we be having some load shedding. But only good thing is, I'm glad I'm not a woman at the age of about 40 because it's going to be a hot summer.
But be glad you ain't me. I ain't my 60th.
Oh, gosh. Yes, ma'am. I pray God's strength.
It happens.
God's strength.
And it causes, guess what? And I didn't call you for this. Mm-hmm. But it causes problem in marriages, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know that, right?
Of course.
Oh, all right.
I have a good woman who's going to change life right now, and I have to be a patient man and buy plenty ice cream.
Ice cream?
She like ice cream.
All right, I guess the milk would do good.
Anything cool.
Right?
Anything
what
cool.
the woman is? The woman in her 40s, eh?
Yeah.
Well, child, you all ain't seen nothing yet.
No, don't
all right, you have plenty time to go.
Pray Lord's blessing.
And it's going to become bad for women.
Oh.
But anyway, what I calling you for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you this regarding this whole thing with the children in the school and all this foolishness, right? And they coming in the principal's face. Is that what's happening?
That's what I'm talking about, and I am concerned about bad behavior. And what do you do about bad behavior?
What do you do with that? The mistake has already been made, Doc. Listen, don't mind their last name. A lot of them, they're mixed blood children. Now, you can cut me off, eh?
No, I listen to you. Go ahead.
I'm telling you. And you can't do nothing with that. The deed has already been done. Okay? Don't mix nature and blood.
Oh, you think
and
that's
look
what
at
it is?
the area where all of this is happening, the schools where it's happening. Huh?
So you believe it's mixed blood people doing it?
Listen, I don't need to believe it. I'm telling you that's what's happening. You mix nature and blood and don't mind what the last name is.
So
All right?
what do
So
we
check-
say? No, let me say. What do we say when the police force are having all the forces, police, defense force, the prison officers are having challenges finding a male, Bahamian male, with 3 BJC, not no BGC, grade 9 work. They say they can't even find 100 men who trying to apply to with 3 BJC. They have people who say, man, they gotta throw out the BJC and just let them be able to just finish high school, whatever grade they get in high school.
Yeah.
I
Because
think that's
females-
problematic.
And females are taking over everything because they're smarter. They are, but it is the mixed blood is coming through the male gender or whatever it is, right?
I
But
say
think they
if
got-
you mix blood and you could read and write and have 5 BJCs, give them the job.
Anyway, I think they got a good man in charge. That Miles Lurota in charge of social services, isn't he now, right? I think they got a good man there. He's a nice, passionate man.
Miles in charge of
Loretta's in charge of he works
National
in charge
Service.
of social service.
national security.
Yeah, national security, right? Well, to keep him in social service.
Social services.
That's a good man.
Yes. Okay.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Pardon?
Go ahead.
Yeah, and they got Miss Barbara Cartwright. That's who's in charge of social service now,
Yes.
right? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about her. We were schoolmates. We graduated. Anyway, I ain't getting all of that. But Miles Lurota, who's in charge of national security now, he's a good man. Okay? But I'm telling you, the problem in this country right now, particularly among the males, okay, is that same mixed blood.
I hear you, and I appreciate your call. We got to analyze that too. Let's read this. It says, some of these old men in the country are truly the reason why we are filled to the brim with so much garbage. Just complete imbeciles. And where were you reading that school report from? I saw it on social media. That's why I read that. Can't be trusting social media, but it looked like it came from a news report. It says, an old women. Yeah, so we have some issues here. CA, what you do when there's only the average people available is upgrade your system. Educate people, don't educate your enemy. We try to upgrade our system. Our system is one of the best systems in the world. Bahamians can compete with anybody. I've seen Bahamians in Oxford, Yale, Princeton, Harvard, and they're doing well. The system works. The problem is we have a lot of special need people, and I'm not saying meaning they're really special need. I'm just saying something is wrong with some of the Bahamians here. And we trying our best to help them. I mean, the government put programs on top of programs, and none of them are interested in applying and getting the job. And if they're not applying and getting the job, we need to find other suitable people who come into the Bahamas to get the job. We train them and educate them. I think there's a Bible quote saying, if man refuse to worship our Lord, the rocks will cry out and worship him. At this present time, if Bahamians refuse to take care of the Bahamas, we got to find other people who love this country and take care of the Bahamas. That's all it calls for right now. Let's continue to read some of these texts. So, Newry, never let that caller who was talking about mixed blood speak again. Ma'am, some people don't like you. They say you always talk about mixed blood people and it's not benefiting the Bahamas in general. That's what they're saying there. Next point I want to mention, let's get to my phone again. There is a press release from, let's go to my page now. It's from Bahamas Striping. And I have no problem with Bahamas Striping. You know, it's a good organization, and I say kudos to them. But when I saw the picture and read the headlines, I asked questions, you know. It says, from Bahamas Striping, a group of companies, one of the leading companies in the Bahamas, and kudos to them again. It says, today the principals, listen to this now. Today, the principals and staff of Bahamas Striping group of companies joined the Sisters of St. Martin's Convent for Mass and had the opportunity to share a warm lunch with the sisters and our cherished company friends. Additionally, we presented a check for $45,000 to support the daily needs of the sisters and sustain their important mission. The Mass has inspired us to continue to serve with purpose and further impact the lives of many Bahamians. And see, that's fine. I was celebrating, but in the picture they have Hubert Minnis taking a picture, presenting the check. I'm trying to say, is Mr. Hubert Minnis one of the principals and staff of Bahamas Striping? I just don't know. And I said, man, I can ask. Anyone know if Minnis have shares in Bahamas Striping? I don't know. But he taking picture as if he have shares in Bahamas Striping. I think I deserve an explanation. And mind you, if he has shares, he has shares. I'm not mad or anything. I like rich people. Rich people is tip better. But I'm just saying, if you have shares, I think everybody should have known. I found that odd. If you have shares and he didn't tell me, I consider that bad behavior. Let's go to the callers again. Guardian Radio AM, you're live. Go ahead, caller.
Morning, CA. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Okay, you could hear me clear?
Yeah, man.
Okay, great. And good morning to the nation. CA, you know, you on this, I didn't catch the earlier part of what you were talking about. I don't even know if you went back to the Al-Qaeda's conversation from yesterday.
No, we're talking about bad behavior, but the Al-Qaeda's conversation, the speaker said they ain't speaking no more about it inside the house. She banned them from speaking about it.
Good. Because the only thing they're doing is trying to create political fodder.
That's what the opposition does. You don't fight them for doing.
All they're trying to do is create political fodder.
But that's what they do. That's what they do.
So I'm so pleased to hear you say that the speaker expressed enough is enough. Unless you have something to contribute that goes beyond just speculation and conjecture, enough of the nonsense. But listen, you just hit on something just now that I wanted to speak about for a few years now, right? And so let me just take this platform and opportunity.
But let me read this quote by the Prime Minister that says, "This matter of controversy created by them," meaning the opposition, to which they now seek a response from us, we are not going to respond to it. That ends that. They ain't talking about it no more. They ain't gonna respond to it. They ain't gonna ask no questions. So if you ask again and again and again, it ain't gonna be talk about.
That's that.
That ends that.
If you have something contrary, get the authorities involved instead of trying to whip up nonsensical, just ignorance in the public domain with misinformation and misguided thoughts and untruths, right? But nonetheless, let me get back to this Bahamas Striping thing, because this is something I wanted to say for a while now, right? Now, Bahamas Striping is one of the major companies on this island, in this Commonwealth, doing at least $500 million, perhaps somewhere around there.
Yes,
right?
they're doing a lot of work.
And in capital works and infrastructural works throughout our country, right? Now, I find it to be a slap in the face when I see them parading politicians, cabinet ministers, former cabinet ministers, former prime ministers to their annual parties, right? It seems as though something untoward is wrong with that picture, man. Like, it's just a nasty look, man, and it's unacceptable, right? And I would encourage politicians to stop that nonsense and that nastiness, right? It's like you are engaging and entertaining and promoting. I really would like to say some things, but I don't want to go too far.
They were invested. The government granted them $5,000, and they are now successful. The number of people are saying that they became a multi-million-dollar company all through government contracts. Well, that's not necessarily so. I have to know who are the principals of Bahamas Striping.
Getting down to that very thing, right? Because somebody said that to me as well, right? And I took a look at the article, and they're not suggesting that former Prime Minister Minnis is a shareholder, right?
I don't know what they suggested.
But they put the labeling either friends or friends of Bahamas Striping Group, right? And he's the one presenting the check. So there's a bit of ambiguity in there. I don't know which party falls under, right? But listen, man, it looks like molestation. It looks like government molestation. It looks like private sector molestation, right? If you have a company that is benefiting so much from PPPs or government direct contracts, right? And then at the end of it, on the next side of the cycle, you see all these other things, right, that are taking place. And you're a very learned person, CA. So you could appreciate what the other things are that you see happening before your eyes. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. And we need to stop that nonsense. Okay? Seriously. We need to put a rest to that kind of behavior in this country. Because it does not spell good. It seems on the edge of being unethical and immoral, frankly speaking. And we need to put a stop to that kind of behavior in this country. So I'm so happy that you brought that up, CA, because that's something that bothers me deeply. Deeply.
I appreciate you.
It almost gives the impression, let me unbreak up, please, CA.
Go ahead.
It almost gives the impression that once you get to a certain level of doing business in this country, that you could just molest anyone in government you want or fraternize with anyone in government you want publicly, no matter how it seems or no matter what it is. And we need to put a stop to that and clean up that image. Thank you for the opportunity. CA, God bless you, man. See you in a great way.
Let's go. This says, police are now seeing an uptick in crime in Fort Charlotte. We need to deal with that. They said, wow, Mr. Newry, it was such a relief and delight to hear Bremen's voice and wishing him all the best. I was very concerned about him, Mr. Newry. In most of, not all law enforcement agencies, these officers must be able to write reports, especially if incidents occur on their watch. So definitely they should have BJC, especially in English language. These officers can't speak, talk, or write, and they say they need more. We may have to make an exception. We say, man, just come. Just come. Let's go to these callers. Guardian Radio AM, you're live. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead, caller. You're live.
Hey, Newry.
Hey, how you doing?
How do you interpret, as a biblical man you are, the rocks will cry out?
I think the rocks are crying out now. That means every other people, every other things, other than those who's selected or who's chosen.
Well, don't you see that the rocks have been crying out in the form of earthquakes?
I was saying the rocks are crying out in form of we have a lot of immigrants coming here and taking advantage of all the opportunities because the Bohemians, who were chosen people, aren't doing it. Therefore, the rocks are now crying out.
Well, that's also true in the form of transformation of boundaries. The physical people are moving their boundaries into ours. And the government in some way may be assisting. I don't know how much, but we don't have the freedom to find that out. But we've been having these earthquakes from a very, very long time, and because we are failing in actually recognizing the God that created everything, the earth is set to destroy us if we fail to. And it's going to happen in the form of earthquakes. One just recently, the North American plate just slipping under the Caribbean plate. That hasn't happened in that I can remember. So there's something to pay attention to, because these plates are just growing like very, very slowly and building up tension, the same way we have tension building up in the immigration environment here in this country. The rocks are actually letting us know that the tension that's being built up is happening in our institutions, in immigration, in our social systems. It's crying out, but we're not connecting the dots. Watch the earthquakes and see how this tension is really crying out to really swallow us, because we don't really want this place. Maybe the next civilization could take care of this planet, eh?
Yeah.
When we become extinct.
Well, we know that the Earth tends to wipe out animals and things over the years, over the hundreds and millions of years.
Yes.
Eventually, men will become extinct, and another type of sentient being will take over this Earth.
It was a rock that wiped out the dinosaurs. Don't forget that was a rock.
Yeah.
So watch it, Nuri. Be careful. Let's behave ourselves, because the clock is ticking on us. Eh?
Yeah, we only have a matter of time. But
Enjoy
thanks very
your
much.
day, sir.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Let's go to the next caller and have all of them get their 30 seconds. Go ahead, caller. Guardian Radio AM, you live? Caller, are you there? Let's go to the next caller there. Guardian Radio, you live? Caller, are you there? Okay, you going too? Okay, let's go back to this caller now. Guardian Radio AM, you live?
Hi, good day, Mr. Newry.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm calling back.
I see. Are you there?
Hello?
Go ahead, you live. Go ahead.
Yeah. Say, mustn't let me call back? They said the truth, speak the truth and shame the devil, and the truth can set you free. All right? It is mixed blood males in this country that causing a problem.
Okay. I hear you. Thanks for calling. Says, good morning. Please let us follow the numbers. If there are 70% of our household are run by single mothers, this where the majority of our problems come from. But if 70% of our households are being run by women, as you say, and only about 10% are problematic, the average doesn't pan out. We need to find out how do we solve the issue with these men not being interested in learning a trade, not interested in learning academics. They're not interested in taking over this Bahamas and managing Bahamas. We need to find what that is, right? We have too many immature, undeveloped persons in leadership. Leadership is in trouble here. That's what the texter says there. Bad behavior. See, this text is, oh God, I gotta read that one. Bad behavior. Bad behavior. We need to address bad behavior before it becomes overwhelming, before it becomes a part of who we are, a part of our culture. We need people to stand up and say, no, we ain't tolerating that no more. That is not us. That is not a part of who we are as Bahamians. And that's what we need to do moving forward. Too much bad behaviors. Too much people speaking and not thinking about what they're saying and how it impacts society. Too much things are not being explained to us. Anyway, this has been Guardian Radio AM. I pray tomorrow will be a better day with some good behavior happening. Have a wonderful day.
Just sign in and have a seat, please. They'll call you in for your x-ray shortly.
That's why they call it a waiting room. You won't have that problem at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiologist can conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.